Okay, we're over here, go to math.com, click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. So we'll click on the first one there. Alright, so it says factor the expression. Factor the expression. So we have x squared minus 9x. X squared minus 9x. Alright, so I think we looked at some problems in the previous section where we were multiplying polynomials and and getting basically this. So now we're going to go backwards. Okay, so let's take a look at this here. This guy right here is x times x, right? And then we have minus 9x. Now, what do both of these monomials have in common? Well, they have an x in common. And so therefore we can factor this x out. And so we can pull that out like that. And we're left with x minus 9. Now, you can always check your work by multiplying this x back across inside. So x times x is x squared. And x times minus 9 is minus 9x. Alright? However, that's going to be the answer. Okay, so it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. X squared, or x times x minus 9. Alright? And what's actually interesting here, this is coincidence. Okay, that's coincidence there. Let's go ahead and hit enter. Alright. Okay, so I guess what I didn't say is this would be the more standard way that you would actually write this. Now, if I said x minus 9 times x, alright, both of these are actually equal. Okay, they're both equal. Alright, but this is the more standard form here that we'll be writing this in. Okay, so up here in the green checkbox, you're going to have several different ways. In this particular one, you only got two different ways of actually writing this in and it being equivalent to this right here. But as you can see here, I try to help you out and give you a hint on if you're interested in typing it into the check box before you actually see the answer. Alright. And to show you this was a coincidence, we'll change the problem where we got x squared minus 7x, so you'd see this would be x parentheses x minus 7. Alright, let's check that out, correct? Okay, so anyway, we're over here at gotomath.com practicing some algebra. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. And it looks like we're going to be looking at this one here. Okay, factor the expression. So I'm going to actually write this one down. I could have probably memorized it. Remembered what it is. Now, like I said, you're going to see, it's going to be tricky when you go to type this in because there's going to be a couple different ways of doing this. If you notice here that this number is smaller than this number, now don't take into account the negative and the positive. Okay, so we have x cubed Okay, we're at gotomath.com. Come up here, click the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials, and we're looking at 2.1. Okay, factor the expression 2x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x. It's a bunch of 2's in there, isn't it? So I'm writing it down. Alright, got it. Moving over to the whiteboard. So we have 2x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2x. So what do we have in common in each one of these? Well, there's a 2, so we know we can pull a 2 out. Alright. There's an x, and you always choose the one with the smallest exponent, so there's assumed to be a 1 right here. Okay, but we don't ever write it. 1's are like invisible. So therefore you always pull the 1 out that has the smallest exponent. So we'll pull x to the first power out, start a parentheses. So we pulled out a 2, we pulled out one of the x's, so we're only left with x squared. Right, pulled that 2 out, we pulled out 1 there, so we're just going to be left with an x. And then of course we pulled out a 2 and an x, and so we'll just be left with a 1. And now you can always check your work by taking this 2x and go ahead and using the distributive property. So 2x times x squared is 2x cubed, 2x times x is 2x squared, and 2x times 1 is 2x. Now the question is, can we factor that? And the answer is no. Alright, obviously we can't do that, and we'll get to that eventually. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so there we go. Let's move over back to the page here. So we have 2x. See, as you can see, just distribute it across and you get back what we started with. Right? Okay. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com, studying on how to factor polynomials. See you in the next problem. Alright, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. And what are we doing? 2.2, I believe. Alright, so let's spend a second here and write this down. So we have 15x cubed plus 3x squared plus 27x. Alright. 15x cubed. We always got to write the problem out. Plus 3x squared and 27x. Okay, just double checking. So let's go through each one of these. What do we have in common here? Well, there are x's in each one, so we know we can factor an x out. And remember, always pull the one out that's the smallest power. Okay, and that'll be x to the first power. So we know we're going to be doing that. Now, what about the GCD? That'd be the greatest common divisor of 15, 3, and 27. That's something we might want to know. Let's look at the smallest number here. 3. 3 goes into 15, and 3 goes into 27. Right? And so what do you got? Well, we're going to pull the 3 out then. So 3 goes into 15 5 times. Now remember, we pulled out one of the x's, so we're going to have 2 left. So we pulled out that 3. What about the x squared here? We're just going to have 1x left. And then, of course, we pulled out an x, and 3 goes into 27. Is that 9? I forgot my multiplication tables. Alright, so what do we got now? Question is, can you factor this? Don't worry about that. This is all I'm really getting at right here. Okay. Anyway, 3x times 5x squared plus x plus 9. And what do we need to do? We need to go back to the page here. Okay. Yeah, 3x. Okay, not too bad. So we're over here at gotomath.com, practice on how to factor polynomials. See you in the next problem. Alright, we're over here at gotomath.com, working some algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. And we are doing 3.1, it looks like. Factor the expression. So we have x squared minus 25. X squared minus 25. Now this is going to be the difference of two squares, and there's a formula we can actually follow, and let's do that right there. Okay, so this is the difference. See, there's a minus sign right here. Difference of two squares, and the difference of two squares can be written as x minus a times x plus a, where a is some real number. However, we're going to be working with integers, and so just to make things easy, if you're learning this for the first time, or maybe you're just refreshing up. Okay. Alright, so this is going to end up being x minus, first off, I guess I better write it like this. Since this is the form we're looking at, we can write x squared minus 5 squared, right? X squared minus 5 squared. Okay, so we'll write x minus 5 times x plus 5. Now, this doesn't matter whether you write it x plus 5 times x minus 5. These are both equal. Alright. However, if you're going to type this stuff into the green checkbox, because I don't have a program for all the combinations, or I guess you'd say permutations here, okay, we'll probably be writing the minus first, or how you see it here, the minus first and the plus second. Okay, you can check that out. Alright, difference of two squares. Okay, so we're over here, gotomath.com, figuring out how to factor and polynomials. See you in the next problem. We're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials, and we're looking at 3.2, it looks like. Okay, things are going to start getting a little hairier. See, this is 3.2. I'll write this down here. X squared minus 14x plus 45. Right. So we have, what do we have? We have x squared minus 14x plus 45. Okay. So we're going to start with something that looks like this. Alright, so sometimes these can be puzzles. However, if there's a 1 in front of this x, it makes things a whole lot easier, because you know this is going to be an x and this is going to be an x here. Alright, so remember, x times x is x squared. Okay, now we're looking for two numbers that we can multiply together. That gives us 45, and then when we add them, we get 14. So in the previous section, we worked on multiplying polynomials, right? So now we're going in reverse. We're going in reverse. All right. Okay. So two numbers that we can multiply together gives us 45, and we add them, we get 14. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at some factors of 45. Well, 9 and 5, right, gives me 45. And look at here, when we add these together, we get 14. So that ought to tell you something. Let's put the 9 here. Doesn't matter. We put the 5 there and 9 here. It doesn't matter at this point. But we need to get a positive, but that's a negative number. So what if we did this? What if we did that, right? So then you can go through and check your work now. X times x is x squared. Then you'd have x times negative 5. That's negative 5x. And then negative 9 times x. So negative 5x, negative 9x is going to give you negative 14x. And then when you multiply negative 9 times negative 5, you get positive 45. Positive 45. Okay. Now, I'm just going to tell you that I think that probably this 5 will be here and the 9 will be here. I think I'm trying to, smaller number will be here, larger number will be here, I believe. That's how that's going to work out, yeah. And, yeah, right, that's it. Okay. Helps you to know what you can, how you need to type it in to the checkbox there. Alright, so there you go. Those are definitely ones to practice. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com, factoring. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra, go down to factoring polynomials. And what are we doing? I believe we're going to be doing 4.1. Okay. So writing this down real quick. Yeah, factoring can be like a puzzle. Can turn into a puzzle. Okay, we got that. So we have 3x cubed minus 57x squared plus 252x. Okay, so what do we have? We have an x, an x's, and an x there. So it looks like we can factor an x out. Now remember, this is to the first power here. Okay, to the first power. Now what about 3? It could be getting tricky here. Does 3 go into 57 and does 3 go into 252? And I'm going to cheat. Let's see, what do we got here? 3 does go into 57 and 3 goes into okay, 84 times. Alright, so we can pull out a 3 and we can also pull out an x here. Okay, so we pulled out a 3 and we're left with only 2 x's minus. Now 3 goes into 57 and I believe it was 19 times. So it is 19. Now we have 1x. There's 2 there, so we're going to pull 1 out. Plus, and 3 goes into 252 84 times. 84 times. Huh. This is not an easy problem here. Now, my guess is that we're going to probably need to factor this. Since we did one of these in the previous problem, I got a feeling we're going to need to factor this guy right here. And this is not exactly an easy one here because 84 is a pretty big number. Okay, so what in the world? We're looking for two numbers we can multiply together that gives us 84, but when we add them, we get negative 19. Now, let's go ahead and rewrite this. Okay, this is going to be probably going to need to do here. Right, so x times x is going to be your x squared. Now, this is a negative and this is a positive. So that tells me that this is going to be a minus and this is going to be a minus here. Alright, so now we got to look at this 84. We need to break that up. So let's see, 84. We can start with this, I suppose. 84 is 21. Whoops, 21 times 4. So I'll just write these factors in here. So 21 times 4 is 84. Now what about 21 minus 4? That It doesn't give us 19, does it? No, that's pretty scary. Really it is. This can actually be broke down to 7 times 3. Of course you have the 4 here. Let's put a comma here. 7 times 4 is 28. And then 3, that's not going to give us 19. Let's see, 12 and 7. Okay, 12 and 7. Yes. Alright, so like I said, it's a puzzle. So if 7 times 12 is 84, and then so if we put a 7 here, just put it here and a 12 here, okay? So a negative 7, negative 12 is going to give us negative 19. And when we multiply negative 7 times negative 12, we get 84. Right, we get 84. So there you go. Okay? And this is probably going to be the way that we're going to want to write it. It's probably going to be how the answer is, since this number, this 7 here is smaller than the 12. 3x. Okay, well let's go over to back to the page. And there you go. So it's definitely going to be one that you're going to need to practice on. Okay. If you can do these, you'll be able to do them anywhere. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com, practicing how to factor polynomials, and seeing the next problem. We're over here at gotomath.com, click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials, and we're looking at 4.2. Looking at 4.2. Alright. So I'm going to need to write this down. Negative 3x cubed minus 60x squared minus 297x. Alright. Okay, so negative 3x cubed minus 60x squared minus 297x. It's 297x. Now what we're going to want to do, since we've got a negative here, and we're going to want to factor that guy out. Okay? Factor that out. Now 3, let's see, 3 goes into 60, and I'm almost betting that 3 goes into 297, right? There's actually a way to tell on that, but 3's are interesting, so 99 times. So we're going to pull out a negative 3. And also, since x occurs, we have an x in each one of these. We're going to pull an x out. Remember, you always pull the one out with the smallest exponent. Okay, so we pulled out a negative 3 and an x. We're going to be left with an x squared. We pulled out a negative. That's going to make that a positive. And 3 goes into 60. How many times? 20. Pulled out an x, so we're left with 1x. And since we pulled out a negative, right, that's going to make that sign positive. And I've already forgotten. 3 goes into 29, so let's see, 99, yeah. Okay. And of course we pulled that x out. Alright. So now what we're going to need to do is figure out how to factor this guy. Oh, lovely. So two numbers, when we multiply them together, we get 99. And when we add them, we get 20. And we can break this up as 11 times 9. 11 times 9, right? 11 times 9 is 99. And also 11 plus 9 is 20. So there you go. That actually was pretty easy. So, and we're going to put the smaller number here. Doesn't matter, but if you're putting it in the green checkbox, it does. Then plus 11. Right, of course you can always go back and check your work by multiplying this stuff out and then distributing that negative 3 across. Okay, 9x, yeah, 99, And then when we add it, we get 20, so that's pretty easy. I like that one. 9 and 11. Yeah. Okay. All right. What are we doing here? Over here, gotomath.com. Practicing how to factor. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here, gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. And I believe, you know what, I'll just click here. Whoa, 5.1. That is what we're doing. All right. We have x cubed minus 216. X cubed minus 216. Okay, so if you remember, the difference of two squares had a formula. The difference of two squares. Okay, that had a formula. We've got one also for the difference of two cubes. Except for the difference of two cubes, we've actually got two of them. The difference of two sums, I guess. The difference of, well, they're cubes. The sum of two cubes. Yeah, that's what I should say. Okay. However, we can't do the sum here. All right. We got the difference of two cubes and the sum of two cubes. Okay, well, so the question is, what is this number cubed? And let's take a look at that. In other words, we'd be looking at the cube root of that. Is it 5, 6? What's 6 cubed? Yep, it is. It's 6 cubed. So this can be rewritten as x minus 6 cubed. X minus 6 cubed is 216. And of course it follows this guy right here. Now the question is, what is that form that we need to follow? Well, it's x minus a. So you're going to use this a lot, I promise, from here on out. And it helps to remember this. I hate to use the word memorize, but remember it. Okay. X minus a times x squared plus ax plus a squared. And you can always check this by multiplying this cross inside. And we had some of these in the previous section where you were given this and we ended up with this. Okay, so there was a reason why you were given this. Alright, so let's go ahead and follow what we've got here. So this is going to end up being x minus 6 times x squared plus 6x plus 6 squared is 36. Right? And you won't be able to factor that anymore. Now, the difference between the difference of two cubes and the sum of two cubes is, we might as well just go ahead and write this out since we've got a plus here. This sign here is going to be the opposite sign right here. Right, but this one will always be plus a squared. So really, whatever this sign is, right, or this sign is going to be the opposite of this one here. Okay? Bam. So let's go click on the answer here. See what we got. X minus 6, x squared plus 6x plus 36. Alright, you are definitely going to need to know that. Promise. We're over here at gotomath.com, practicing factoring. See you later. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. And I believe we're looking at 5.2. Yes, 5.2. Okay, so we talked about this in the previous problem. And was it one? No, it was a different number. Okay, so let's go ahead and I think I can remember that. X cubed plus 1 125. So remember, this is the sum of two cubes. The sum of two cubes, and so to factor this, this is what you need to follow here. Squared plus ax plus a squared. Now I made a mistake. Okay, hopefully you caught that. So that should be a minus there. And how about a minus? We could actually read. There we go. Okay, and you can always check this by multiplying this through and seeing what we get up here. Alright. So what do we got going on over here? We got x cubed plus. Now what number would be cubed to get 125? And I'm thinking it's 5. Right? 5 cubed is 125. Yeah. 5 cubed. Right? So this ends up becoming x plus 5 times x squared. Whoops, I about did it again. Did you catch that? So this is minus 5x, and then plus, this is always a plus, and then we square that number. There you go. Okay? And you shouldn't be able to factor that. Alright, where are we at? Let's go back. See what we got. So we got x plus 5, x squared minus 5x plus 25. You are definitely going to need to remember that. Alright, so over here, go2math.com, practice on factoring. See you in the next problem. Alright, we're over here, go2math.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. And, alright, we're in 6.1 here. So I'm going to have to write this one down. 6.1. Okay. Minus 729. So now remember, alright, my mind has kind of drifted off into somewhere else land. Alright, so remember, this is x minus a times x squared plus ax and then plus a squared. Alright, but we got something different here. We got this 125. But let me show you how to deal with this. I'm going to write 5x, and then let's put all that in parentheses and cubed. That's the same thing as 125 x cubed, because if we cubed 5, we'd get 125. You see? Then of course x cubed is x cubed. What about this number here? What is that? What number cubed would that be? Let's see. Is that 7 cubed? It's a guess. It's not even close. What about 8 cubed? That's not close either. 9 cubed? 9 cubed. And some of you might have already known that. So that's 9 cubed. Okay? We're going to follow this same convention here. Okay? We're going to follow the same form here. And that is, this 5x is just represented by whatever this is right here. Alright? So 5x, don't let it confuse you now, minus 9. Put a parentheses around that. So this becomes now 5x quantity, whatever, right? So whatever this is like, pretend this is all nothing but x right here. So this is now becomes 5x quantity squared. And you know what? We'll just keep it in parentheses here. How's that? And then we have plus Alright, what about this guy? Now remember what x is. X is 5x. And then we have this a right here, and a is 9. So I'm going to put the 9 here, and then the 5x right here. Okay? And then plus 9 squared, and we're just going to go ahead and write 81 here. Alright, write 81. Okay, so we can actually rewrite this as 5x minus 9 times 5 squared is 25. X squared plus, this is going to be 45x, and then plus 81. Now, I guess it's possible that we could end up factoring a number out of here if it was completely factoring this thing, but I don't see it happening. Alright. Okay. 5x minus 9, 25x squared plus 45x plus 81. Sorry if I gotta go back and forth on that, but I want to make sure we got everything right. Okay. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com practicing our factoring. See you in the next problem. Alright, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to, okay, we're not going to that yet. Factoring polynomials. And I believe that was 6.1 I just did, so let's take a look at 6.2. Which looks like 6.1. And I wonder why I didn't do a plus. Don't know. Oh well, we're gonna do this problem. 125x, you know what, we did a 125, didn't we? Let's do that. Should have done a one with a plus sign, and I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I just forgot to, I don't know. Okay, whatever. Let's just do it because you need to practice. So we have 64x, maybe I need to practice, x cubed minus 729. So we're going to rewrite this. This is going to be 4x cubed because 4 cubed is 64, right? And what was this again? I forgot. 9 cubed? I think that was 9 cubed like in the last problem. Sure was. 9 cubed. Alright. So this is going to end up being 4x minus 9. So remember, this is, pretend this is all nothing but x here. So this becomes 4x. Right, we'll just put a square here. Since this is minus, we're going to put plus. And then we got 9 times 4x. Okay, and then that's going to be squared, so plus 81. Alright, and so this ends up being 16x squared plus 36x plus 81. You know, what's the GCD of 16, 36, and 81? I hope it's 1. If it's not, then that means that we can pull a number out of there. And 9 goes into that, 4 times 4. Let's see, 9 times 3, I don't see it happening. Okay, so there it is. Let's go back over here. See what we got. 4x minus, 4x minus 9, 16x squared plus 36x plus 81. Okay, I don't know why I didn't make that a plus, but it doesn't matter. You needed to practice. Okay. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com practicing how to factor polynomials, and I'll see you there. See you in the next problem anyway. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials, and you know what, I'll just click on this. We are doing, if I can get 7.1 to come up, 7.1 factoring polynomials. Make sure we're in the right section. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so write this down. 5x times if you're going into higher math, you better get your factoring down because you do quite a bit of it in several sections in calculus. We need to know how to factor. Plus, you need to know how to factor sometimes to solve equations. Alright, so what do we got going on here? Okay, I wrote it down. Let's just get with it. 5x x plus 3 squared. Now, what I'm about to do in this problem is actually pretty important. In fact, there's a section in calculus in first semester calculus where you need to know how to factor to find the max and the mins and all that kind of stuff. And by the time you get to that, you've probably, a lot of students forget how to factor, and so they got to relearn it. And at least they think they're learning something new, but they're actually probably relearning it. And so this is actually pretty important here, what we're going to do here. I'm factoring this guy. Okay, we have an x plus 3 quantity squared. Well, we have an x plus 3 here quantity squared. And that's what we are going to pull out. All right. What I was doing there. So we're going to pull out an x plus 3 quantity squared. So wrap your mind around that. So when we pull out two of them here, pulled out the whole thing, what are we left with? 5x. And we pulled out this whole thing, so we're just left with 1. Now you can always check your work by taking this and multiplying it back inside. So x plus 3 quantity squared times 5x is just what you see here. Then x plus 3 quantity squared times 1 is what you see here. So it's not too bad, okay? But you better get it down. I promise. I am not joking. Right? And of course we're writing it in this order here because we're going to write with the larger exponent on the right hand side. Smaller exponent here, 1. Yep. Alright. There you go. So over here at gotomath.com, trying to figure it out. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. We are doing 7 point. Let's see, we just did that one. Okay, this is what we're looking at here. 7.2. So we got x squared, we got x plus 3, minus 25. Ooh, I see a tricky one here. Tricky. Alright. It's tricky dick. I don't know why I said that, but you guys know who Tricky Dick was? He was not very popular. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that. Minus 25, x plus 3, at least for a lot of people. And of course, I'm sure if you're watching this from another country, you're probably like, who cares? Let's get on with the math. Okay, so what are we doing here? We have an x plus 3 in both of these terms. We're going to factor out that x plus 3. And yes, I do have a lot of people. In fact, I have more people from other parts of the world than the U.S. that actually learns this stuff. So anyway, hopefully I'm helping out people in Australia, which I am, and and just about everywhere else. Anyway, and so welcome from those from down under. All right, what do we got going on here? We got x plus 3. Okay, look at here. We can find, remember this is the difference of two squares. Speaking of down under, for many years, there's a 5 here, I had a dream of a particular place. And one day I was watching TV, and I was like, that is what I was dreaming about. It was the weirdest thing. I haven't had the dream in a long time. And as a matter of fact, ever since I seen this particular place in Australia, I quit having that dream. It's just freaked me out. And draw a picture here. So from my friends from down under, the dream of this place looked a lot like this thing. It's just like this great big thing. My great artwork here. Just out in the open. I'm not kidding. I had lots of dreams of being on this, and there's like a little valley or something in here, and totally bizarre. I think it's like called Dream Rock or something. I don't know. It just freaked me out, man. X plus 3 times x minus 5 times x plus 5. True story. Alright, what do we got here? X plus 3, x plus 5, x minus 5. So, you go to type this in up here, you know. Don't get mad, but anyway, this is going to be the form or something. You're going to type it. Yeah, so many different ways of doing it. Alright. Yep. Really weird. Alright, we're over here at gotomath.com. Go and practice your factoring. If you're from Australia, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about that. I don't know. Alright, see you later in the next problem. We're over here at gotomath.com. Doing something. Let's click on Algebra. I started thinking about this dream I had, and I don't know. I had to look it up. Forgot what that place is called. We're doing 8.1, I think. Ooh, what is that? That does not look good, whatever it is. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of that rock that I had a dream about for many years, and one day I was watching TV. This has been a while back. And there was that rock. I was like, that freaked me out. Rock. What is the name of that daggum rock? That's it! What is that? 7 rocks down under. Ayers Rock. Ayers. Man, I'm sorry, it's getting crazy. Ayers Rock, I had to look that up. In the previous video, I couldn't remember what the name of that was. Dream Rock. Ayers Rock. Man, we better get busy. Anyway, I've had dreams of being on that thing. And one day I seen that and I was like, that is what I had dreams about for a long time. And they were just really bizarre dreams, man. Ayers Rock. Huh. Wow. Anyway. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We want to factor this, and this doesn't exactly look fairly easy to do. Usually what we do is, trying to remember what we do. What we're going to do. Okay, we got a 5 and a 5 and x. What if I did this? Factor it out of 5x, and we're going to be left with, now what if I factored out of 5x squared? So we're going to be left with an x here, and then plus 1, plus x plus 1. Yeah. And then what we could do is factor out an x plus 1. So let's just pretend there's parentheses around that. So we have x plus 1, and then 5x squared plus 1. Now remember, you can always check your work by taking this and multiplying it back inside. X plus 1 times the 5x squared. You get 5x squared times x plus 1, and x plus 1 times the 1 here. Okay? Or you could FOIL it out. Right? Multiply this stuff out. Yeah, I think that's it right there. We can't do much more with that. So let's go back. Kind of got off on a tangent there. X plus 1, 5x squared plus 1. X times that is 5x cubed plus x plus 5x squared plus 1, multiplying that out. Okay, so that's one way of checking your work there. Ayers Rock. Strange. Alright, we're over here at GoToMath.com, reminiscent of the past, learning some factoring. See you later, and maybe I'll see you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. And what are we doing? I think we already did that, right? Yeah, we did 8.1, now we're doing 8.2. I've almost forgot what's going on here. Okay, hopefully we've already done 8. We haven't done 8.2. No. We have 7x cubed minus 7x squared plus 3x minus 3. It's been a while since I've gotten off on a tangent. Okay, so we want to factor this guy. Let's tell you what we can do here. We've got a 7 and a 7, x squared, x. Let's factor out this 7x squared. What are we going to be left with? X minus 1. X minus 1, yeah. And let's factor out a 3 here. Look at that. Okay. Alright, so now we have an x minus 1 and x minus 1. We can factor that out. And we're going to be left with 7x squared plus 3. And we can't factor that anymore. Okay, so let's see what we got. X minus 1 times 7x squared plus 3. Yep, that's it. So you're getting it. Come on by GoToMath.com. Come on by, practice, and share your thoughts if you want. All right. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. And I'm just going to click on here, right here. 9.1, almost done. Hey, that kind of rhymes. 9.1, we're almost done. We got x cubed. I'm going to have to write this down. X minus 11 minus 27. Ooh, this is going to be a good one here. Minus 11. All right. This is going to be a good one. Whoa, we forgot to erase the board. All right, board erased. So we've got x cubed times x minus 11 minus 27 times x minus 11. So as you can see here, we have an x minus 11 in both these. And that's what we're going to factor out, x minus 11. Let's do that. And so we're going to be left with an x cubed minus 27. But guess what? This is the difference of 2 cubes. The difference of 2 cubes. So we did some of these earlier. So we're going to have x minus, let me just write this over here. 27 is equal to what? 3 cubed, right? So this can be written as x cubed minus 3 cubed. So a would be our 3. So remember, we say x squared. This is a minus. We write the opposite sign. And then we're going to put 3x plus, and then we always square the 3, and that's going to give us a 9 here. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. We got x minus 11, x minus 3, x squared plus 3x plus 9. Wow. Right. That's what we had, wasn't it? Yep. Just making sure. Come on by GoToMath.com. Practice. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. And I believe we're doing 9.2. And let's see if we can get 9.2 to come up. There it is. There she blows. What's going on there? I don't know. X to the 4th. Oh my God. So we have x to the 4th minus 8x cubed minus 27x plus 27 times 8. Not sure why that didn't get multiplied together. Probably going to try to help us out somehow. Alright, let's get over here to the whiteboard. So we have x to the 4th minus 8x cubed, it is, minus 27x plus 27 times 8. Trying to figure this out. Let's see. X, like I said, these could be puzzles. X and 8. Okay, what if we did this? We factored out an x cubed over here. So this becomes x minus 8. How's that? And let's say we factored out a negative 27. So this becomes x minus 8. See that? See, negative 27 times x is negative 27x. Then negative 27 times negative 8. And that's the reason that's not multiplied together. Because if it was, well, I guess it could be. you know, probably should be. But I think we're just trying to help you out there. And then now what we can do is factor out this x minus 8 out of here. And we're left with x cubed minus 27. So once again, we have a difference here of 2 cubes. X cubed, remember, minus a cubed. And so a in this particular case is going to end up being 3. Right? 3 cubed is 27. Okay, so we're going to end up with x minus 8 times x minus 3 times x squared, and then this is going to be a plus, remember it's the opposite sign of whatever this is, 3x plus 9. Alright, okay, yeah. Alright, I guess time quit staring at that. So we got x minus 8, x minus 3, x squared plus 9. It's a lot like the last problem. Seemed like it is. What was this, 9.2? Yeah. Okay. Tricky though. It could be tricky. We're over here at GoToMath.com, practicing how to factor. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials. Oh my god, I got one more problem left after this, 10.1. Okay, so we've got something with a different variable other than x in there. And I haven't really worked a whole lot of those problems, which I probably should. We have x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. Okay. And let's go ahead and write it up. X squared plus 2xy plus y squared. Alright. Okay. Well, what are we doing? We're factoring, right? How about x plus y times x plus y? See that? Now if you went ahead and multiplied these guys together, we should get this up here. X times x is x squared. Then you have x times y times x. That's two of them, right, that are like terms. That'd be 2xy. Then y times y is y squared. So why not? Right? Now I should also say this. You know, this is also, I guess, a proper way of writing that. Okay, but since we're factoring it completely out, I just write the two factors out. All right, so it should state that. Needs to be stated. All right, we're over here at GoToMath.com. Come on by, practice. See you in the next problem. Oh, the last problem of this section for right now anyway. We're over here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to factoring polynomials, and we are doing 10.2. 10.2. Alright, x squared minus y squared. So this is the difference of what? It's the difference of two cubes. I mean two squares, sorry. So we end up with x minus y times x plus y. Whoa. Now remember, I was writing it like this, where a is some real number, and it was x minus a times x plus a. Okay, same thing, except we're just having to be using a y here. Okay. Alright, so we end this section here with two fairly easy problems. We're just throwing in a multiple variable there. X plus y, x minus y. Which way did I write that? It doesn't matter. Same thing. Alright. Okay, so we finished up, and hopefully you practice, learn something, and I'll see you in the next section.